So we have a fun little job here to get into today. We've got a cartridge filter. There's a swimming pool right here. Very big, long, it's above ground pool. We've built into the ground on the back there is a lap pool. And it's got a new Hayward cartridge filter, which I put into place. Pumps up top, all sorts of funny configurations here. But we managed to neaten up the plumbing here a lot and simplify it out. We are going to reinstall solar over here at a later stage. There's the pipe running up to the solar there. But what we've got is a situation where we put this cartridge filter in, and now what we're going to do is put a little porthole over the top of it. There's been a pot and stuff in there, but over the top we're going to put a little porthole so that you can actually get the cover off and get the cartridge out. Currently you can get the top off, but you can't get the cover out, because when the top comes off it has to just come off. But then the cartridge itself, it's really long, top to bottom. It's not two cartridges, it's one. So we've got to get that whole cartridge out, and it currently doesn't fit. So we're going to cut a little porthole up the top here. There's a little removable deck, and then we'll be able to get the cartridge right the way out. So the type of deck we've got here is this plastic non-rotting material, and it's held on with these little plastic clips. They've got slots in the side, you can see in there, and then there's clips hold them in place, and the clips are held down with this torque screw. This little guy here, funny looking screw, but that's the one that holds it down and holds it in place. So what we're going to do now is slide these out of the way, and the porthole we're going to make is actually, I've got framing along here and along there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut that board and that board, and that one's actually got the fence sitting on it, so we'll see how we go about not cutting that one. We'll take these two out and see if that's enough, and we're going to just cut them over the frame so that this is sitting on the frame there, and it's also, you can see through there, it's also sitting on the frame there. So by cutting it down the middle, this will still sit on the frame, this will still sit on the frame, and we should be able to just lift this part here out. The same at that, by cutting it on the frame, we'll just put a bit of board and either glue it or screw it underneath these to hold it all together, so it'll all go down as one panel. So we'll see how it all works out. So we've managed to just push those clips, they just slide, just banging them with a screwdriver, literally like that, and they're moving along out of the way. So you can see now the board. I'm going to chop right down the middle of that so that the porthole and the bit that's staying can both rest on that frame. So I'm just going to cut it down. I've got an angle grinder down there with a cut-off wheel on it, just a very thin blade cut-off wheel, and we're just going to cut straight through that and remove those boards. So here is the cut-off wheel. As you can see, it's just very, very thin. So it's like an angle grinder wheel. It's a cut-off wheel, which is much thinner. So you can cut through metal, plastic, sort of pretty much anything with this guy. So it'll just melt through this plastic. It will probably melt it. Definitely safety glasses. I'll be flicking hot plastic around, but we'll chop through those boards and see how we go. So there we go. We've cut those sections out. Here's the two sections that we cut out, and the death wheel has cut it off nicely. I will just clean up that edge there. Obviously it was struggling for depth, and when I came to the edge I didn't want to go cutting the next board, so I stopped. You can see here, because of the gap I could get down a little bit, but then had to break that little bit there off. I just jabbed a chisel down and hammered it to break that little bit off. Just use that little chisel there and hammered it down, and then I've just cleaned up along those, and I will get the cut-off wheel, tip that upside down, and then just clean those up, and then they'll go on to become the trapdoor lid now. So what I'll do with these guys, I'll just glue a piece of timber underneath here, here and here, and put some screws into it so that it becomes a solid one piece, which can just slip in and go in place there, and the weight will hold it in place. Now I've got an extra piece of framing board here. I think it's just been added to get that third bolt in here. So what I'm going to do is just get that out. I think it's been glued in. It's more than jammed in. So I'm just going to work on that to pull it out. So the hole's clear, and that's a little bit off centre, but we'll be able to get that lid off and get that cartridge filter out. So that had been glued at the back. So I just hammered it in a few different spots. There's a few holes there along the top, and then got into the edge there, and just drove it through until it split. And again, I can tidy that up, or probably I won't, so it's all going to be under the deck, and it'll help to hold it. But that's now out of the way, so now it's a matter of we'll pull that cartridge filter off and see if we can get it out. Here's the finished product. We've just got the slots there. You can see the slots are quite wide, which is interesting. That's the slot there and there. That cord running over it. Now it's interesting because I just cut a very, very narrow slot into there, and this either the boards were tight because they'd shrunken a bit, or something moved because that gap is way bigger than what I cut out. That's okay. It's still looking the part. I haven't yet put the boards underneath to join that. I'll do it when I do the other job down below. But there you go, there's the porthole, and it lifts out, it comes up under the fence, not a problem at all. So it's all looking good.